Welcome to Travels with Phil. I am Phil Constantine, and on this episode we are going to be in New York City, and we're going to be looking at Wall Street. It starts down at the East River, goes all the way up to Broadway, and so we're going to look at several of the iconic spots along this fairly short road. You can see it here on the map at the very tip of Manhattan, and the map there again shows you a little bit more of the road, and we'll go to a different angle here, and that's how short Wall Street is. It's really not that big, but it has a big influence on the world, especially the economy. This is a trip down Wall Street, going past Federal Hall there into Trinity Church. Trinity Church is right at the corner of Wall Street and Broadway. It was, this is the second one in this site. The first one burned down, and this was reinstituted in 1788 on the very tip of the island. It is quite lovely inside. It is still a functioning church. There's a cemetery outside. We'll tell you more about that in just a second. So let's look at my video from inside.
Travels with Phil continues inside Trinity Church, which is in Wall Street. Very pretty. Somebody lost their balloon. Nice altar. What I'd say about a 3-story atrium or vaulted ceiling. Give you a little bit better picture of the stained glass window. And can take photos just as long as you have no flash and you're not supposed to talk too much. People are in here praying.
Acoustic's very nice. I've heard some people singing in here. All right, so let's go out the door and look outside at the cemetery.
I like to pay respect to certain people, and then just curiosity out of others. This is erected to the memory of Robert Fulton, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, primarily known as helped inventing the steam engine, or at least working on it, doing some major work for it. And in New York City, the biggest buzz around is for Alexander Hamilton, Secretary of the Treasury, killed in a famous duel with Aaron Burr. Biggest hit on Broadway, sold out for over a year, or almost a year in advance. But there's Alexander Hamilton. Now, since he was Secretary of the Treasury and the pyramid got on the bill, it's not surprising that there's a pyramid on his grave. It's his first Secretary of the Treasury. He founded the Bank of New York and the U.S. Mint, was one of the framers of the Constitution, and his image appears on the U.S. $10 bill. He died famously as a result of a duel with Vice President Aaron Burr. So you got to watch out for those vice presidents.
All right, let's look at Wall Street itself.
With Phil continues downtown at Wall and Broad Street. Yes, Wall Street. This is Federal Hall right here. The guy you see standing up there pointing or saying stay away. It's George Washington. And on this side at Federal Hall, unzoomed so it's not so bouncy. On April 30th, 1789, George Washington took the oath as the first president of the United States of America. And that building right there, it's now a federal monument or park, whatever you want to call it, national park. And it opens up at 9 o'clock. It's not quite 9 o'clock, so I'll be checking that out. That's Trinity Church right there, right up there. And the cornerstone of capitalism, the New York Stock Exchange, right there on the corner. Now, the story here, this is the J.P. Morgan Bank, by the way, according to that sign right there, next to the guy playing the, can't remember what that's called, oud? Not sure. In any case, a long time ago, the Dutch here built a wall to protect them from attacks from the local indigenous folks and other folks that weren't so indigenous. And the wall went quite a distance and eventually became called Wall Street. And so that's where we are, downtown New York City, in the center of the financial district.
All right, so let's go take a look over at the New York Stock Exchange. Right here back at Wall Street and Broad Street. There's Broadway at the other end of the block, but Broad Street is different. A little hard to get a good picture of the front of the building because the buildings are so close together and they're fairly tall. And another video here, you can see a little bit of the entrance. Now this is the actual trading floor. This is where you hear all the noise of the people yelling at each other, although they don't yell as much anymore. A lot of it's done by computer. But you hear about on the trading floors. That's what they're talking about right here. This is one of the oldest stock exchanges in the world, and it's the biggest one, I believe, presently. Over in the left-hand corner, you see that's where the people stand up and bang the gavel to open or close the stock market. A couple of astronauts there on the gavel. So let's go back outside the Federal Hall. This is, again, on the corner there of Wall Street and Broad Street. This is the second building here, actually, and there was, I can't remember if it was a fire for the first one. But in any case, this is where George Washington was first sworn in as president, and that's his statue on the outside of the building. So let's go inside and look at his Bible.
Phil continues downtown New York City, Wall Street area. This is Federal Hall, where George Washington was sworn in. This Bible, right there, one in front of you, it's used by George Washington during his inauguration, printed in 1767. It's also been used during the inaugurations of President Harding, 21, Eisenhower, 53, Jimmy Carter, 77, and George Bush Sr. in 1989. The Bible is owned by St. John's Lodge No. 1 and is on loan to the National Park Service.
He was a Mason.
And that's what the building looked like around the time of what he did when he was sworn in. Now building has been replaced. This is the new building. Yes, I do love rotundas. And so there's almost very little left of what was happening. First inaugural day, April 30th, 1789, standing on this stone in the balcony of the Federal Hall, April 30th, 1789, George Washington took the oath as the first president of the United States of America.
And New York was originally the capital of the United States.
From out of Federal Hall, downtown downtown New York City, Charles with Phil continues.
And finally, you can't talk about Wall Street without talking about the bull. Well, the bull just sort of appeared one day. It's not an official monument, or it wasn't when it was originally done in 1989. You can see Modica there, the guy that made it in 1989, just showed up. Used his own money, about $350,000 worth, to create this statue. Eventually, it was put into storage and then brought back out by popular demand. People do funny things, like that guy hanging himself, people putting underwear on it. Certain anatomical parts are visible on the bull. And somebody knitted him a cover. And then, speaking of bull, all right, two bulls right there beside each other. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up by clicking on the button below. You're welcome to leave comments below as long as the language is family friendly. And finally, if you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel by clicking the button over on the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you again for watching.